AFL footy season is just about back. The opening round is only days away, and even though we've lost 2 games from the opening round already, we still have another 2 games to play for opening round. So I thought we'd do a footy tip video. We'll make this a weekly thing so we can track my footy tips for the year. I didn't have a great year last year, but it's a redemption year. So fingers crossed we have a good one in 2025. Before we get stuck into the footy tips though, make sure you like and subscribe on the channel. It really helps us out. We've just passed 2,000. We're heading towards 2,100. So let's try and get there in a hurry. We appreciate the love and support. Firstly, on the 2 games that have been postponed, Brisbane and Geelong and Gold Coast and Essendon, logical, common sense decision. I'm a little bit shocked it took that long to get to that decision, but it just makes sense. I mean, these Brisbane players are in the middle of sandbagging up their houses and trying to protect their families. The absolute last thing they need to be worried about is kicking a football around, because as much as we all love watching AFL and footy in general, at the end of the day, it's literally just a game of football, and their houses and families and friends are much more important than any of this. So thoughts go out to everyone up in Brisbane and Queensland who's going to be under the pump with the hurricane stuff. Seen lots of footage on the news with people getting sandbags ready. So hopefully everyone stays safe. But looking at the 2 games that are being played, first of all, on the Friday night, we've got Sydney up against Hawthorn at the SCG, which is going to be a really, really good game. The Swans are going to be looking for a little bit of redemption after a lackluster grand final last year. That's going to burn them significantly. And they were pretty dominant last year throughout the home and away season. And maybe the same trend's going to continue. But they've obviously lost Errol Goulden, which is a big out. He's a phenomenal athlete and a really great player. His work rate from contest to contest is exceptional. I'm not fully sold on their 2 tall forwards. Amadi, I'm not sold on. I know he had that big game where he kicked 9 or 10 goals, whatever it was. But he's not going to do that every week. So I'm just not sure if they've been found out a little bit there. But when you've got someone like Tom Papley roaming your forward line and Isaac Heaney doing some damage as well, you're bound to get some goals on the board. From the Hawks' perspective, the players they've picked up since that Port Adelaide final, they're picking up Barras, they've got Josh Battle, so both of them go straight into the back line, either alongside Sicily, or Sicily moves up forward and creates a headache at that end of the ground. And that's the beauty of Sicily and Josh Battle. They can play at either end. So that is another very good, strong dynamic for the Hawks. They were an exciting team last year. My big question mark on Hawthorn was last year they weren't really being hunted and they were playing with a lot of freedom. This year, teams are going to be wised up to what they play like. They're going to be the hunted this year. I still think they're a top 4 prospect, and I actually have them edging out the Swans in this game. It's going to be an absolute cracker, though. I'm really looking forward to this one. The next game, we've got the Giants up against the Magpies on Sunday at Energy Stadium. The Giants, again, they should be looking for another top 4 finish, I think. I know they're missing Jake Stringer for the first few weeks, which is a bit disappointing for them. I've said it before, but I really think he's a great fit for them. He's going to help free up Hogan more. He's going to help free up Toby Green more, Cadman, players like that. And I think it was a really smart move to get him across. Speaking of Hogan, what a year he had last year. Can he back it up? That's the big question. But they've got, Cadman not waiting in the wings, but Cadman could end up with the 2nd or 3rd defender. And as he gets a bit more mature and a bit older and a bit more experienced, that is dangerous for a lot of opposition defenses. So they are going to be pushing very hard for a top 4 spot. And the Magpies, they were pretty disappointing last year, to be honest, but they'll be looking to bounce back. We saw them firsthand last week. They were looking pretty good. Nick Dacos is an exceptional player. But I think the Giants are going to be a little bit too strong in this one. And it's going to be a close contest, but I'm going to tip the Giants in that particular game. So they are the footy tips for the opening round. When the Brisbane game and the Gold Coast game get rescheduled, we'll obviously chuck them back into the mix for footy tips. So we'll track this closely. We'll see how we go. Let us know in the comments below. Who are you tipping this week in opening round? Are you going for the Swans, the Hawks, the Giants, or the Pies? Let us know. And opening round, not far away. Good to have footy back.